I'm from Nigeria, born and raised, and of course, when you start doing well for yourself, one of the things that comes to mind is like, man, I gotta go home, I gotta go invest, and just like a lot of us that are in the diaspora, we end up, you know, investing a lot of resources back home. And over the years, as you know, as I start putting money back home, I start understanding how investment works. I realized that, man,
It's not really an
it's not really
investment.
an investment.
Yeah, so it's like
And
an emotional decision rather than an
right,
investment, because an investment is truly based on numbers, right?
right, right,
Which is
right.
like the similar experience that I have in Cameroon, because when I started on my journey, I wanted to invest in Cameroon. Like I wanted to do business in Cameroon, and I attempted it, and it almost killed me. Like just trying to do that business in
What
Cameroon.
business was that?
I was trying to do a trucking business in Cameroon. I did two things first. I did like import, where we would buy goods from the US and try to go sell it for more in Cameroon. That one was a whole total disaster.
Goat. You mean not buying goods or goat?
I said, we're buying goods. Why am I going to buy a good from America to go
I
sell
don't
it in
know for
Cameroon?
you.
I said, we buy goods in the US, like stuff, and then go sell back home, right? That one was a total disaster. But through that experience, I was like, while I was navigating through the challenges, I was like, there's a need for trucks here. So to do a trucking.
So when you say it was a disaster, what exactly happened that made you feel like it was a disaster? What caused the failure of the business?
So if you know anything about Cameroon, the custom systems is probably the worst in the world, right? So to
I think
navigate,
that's the same thing everywhere in
yeah,
Africa.
yeah. So trust me, Cameroon is like notorious for that. So I did it with a group of friends. We bought stuff, put it in a container, and shipped it to Cameroon.
Which a lot of people do in Africa.
Exactly. The container got to Cameroon, and then we met somebody that said, you know what, I could help you guys get it out of the port much faster. Little do we know that that person was actually trying to like mess up the process so we can get frustrated and abandon the container. Right? So then I think he took one of the documents and like just was just holding on to it. So it was like when I got to Cameroon, then it was like instead of my vacation time, because the goal was to get there, get the container out in the first week, sell the goods, and then have money to have fun and enjoy myself. But for the 3 weeks that I was there, the first 2 weeks was spent going
customs.
there in customs. From one custom office to another to this, one police office to another to this. I'm telling you, like the whole Christmas vacation was gone.
Yeah.
Finally got it out, and when I had just like 3 days left, so ended up just liquidating everything and then just came back.
Got you, got you. So I think is that's about doing business in Africa, where there's not a system that makes doing business that easy. Like you said, they put in things in place to frustrate you, where you be like, you know what, I'm not doing it, and then you
I'm
just
done.
go ahead and reap the benefit on it. And I think a lot of people in the diaspora are facing the same challenges. And that brings me back to like when it comes to investing back home, is like what are some of those things a lot of people in the diaspora wants to invest in?
So it's land, right? One land is probably one of the most common one, where our parents grew up buying land and all of that. So a lot of us want to go buy land in Africa, thinking that is an investing. A lot of us also go and build, right, or build houses and say we want to rent it. But with the knowledge that I have right now, I've actually had a conversation. I've actually sat down with a friend that built, like, he spent close to $500,000. All cash. That's the interesting part too.
Everything you're getting there is all cash.
It's all
yeah?
cash. There's no leverage, right? To build like this nice apartment community in Yaoundé. But when you do the math, you do the calculation, how much money he spent, and how much he's getting back in rent in dollars, it's going to take him like 20 years to recover his initial investment.
Okay.
Right? But he's not. We don't even, and when we're looking at it, we don't even factor in the time that it takes to go all of that. And when you're looking at the cost of construction, you're truly not even factoring all the other headaches and the other things that come
inflation.
through. Exactly. So, but I did the math, and I'm like, man, we've been doing this wrong, right? Because an investment is based on numbers, not on emotion, not on speculation. a lot of the things we do, buy land, or like, for example, I'll give you an example. I have land. I bought land in Cameroon, right? And I bought this piece of land. My lawyer handles everything for me. I have the title for the land. My lawyer had not been to the land for months. Then I was like, go check it out. And he goes and checks it out and calls me. It's like somebody built a house on the land.
That is one of the biggest problem I think a lot of folks in the diaspora is having right now, where me too, I'm in the same situation, where you buy a land and you feel like you have all the paperwork. My mom called me one day and she was like, the land that she got from me, the youths of the community went and got a bulldozer and just broke out all the fence in the place and said they want to resell everything, right? And I think this is a painful experience for a lot of people in the diaspora, where they buy lands, they buy properties, hoping that one day they'll be able to go back and do it. And I feel like it's a false promise. It's one of those things that just keep pulling you, but you are not actually achieving anything. Now, there are some people that have actually gone beyond buying the land and actually building. But I've identified a lot of issues around the process. Actually, the whole chain of, finding the land, buying it, family members coming on board, family members helping you manage it. And I'd like us to really discuss from the start, somebody calling you saying there's a land, to you buying the land, to you building it, to you designating somebody else to build it for you, or you going over there to build it, and to managing it, to running it, and for you to actually make money or actually have it as a place where you can live when you go visit. So I'd like us to actually dissect each of this chain and see what are some of the issues around that, and see what are possible solutions on the long run for a lot of folks in the diaspora.
So there's so many issues along the way, right? I think the first thing is first to understand that buying land sometimes, not every time, but buying land most of the times is not really an investment, but we think it is an investment. It's more of an emotional decision. Right?
I think the thing about buying the land is like people tell you that you want to go own something back home. Not really, it's like for investment.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, if you buy this you can go build a house there. This is your own land. This is your homeland. And all of that good stuff.
That's what I mean, right? Because it's an emotional decision. Because you can imagine, most of us came from nothing. We grew up in like a small village growing up and always had that big dream to get out of this village and do something big for ourselves.
Right.
Now that you've gone out, you're able to earn this income. Now coming back to that place that you used to live, to build a nice house or to buy a land in that community, that is validation, right? It's internal validation that you did something, right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely,
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we should not look at it from as an investment, or like that's a nest egg that's going to last, because a lot of problems come along the way, right? One that you really mentioned is like the family member situation.
Yeah,
we live in the diaspora. We decide to go do this at home.
We call them our cousins and say, hey, listen, do you know what land back there? Can you help people go buy that land? And then your cousin is trying to figure out how to feed his family.
Exactly. And then the cousin goes and does it, and then things don't go well. Then it causes strain in the family, right? It causes a lot. But and a lot of times we blame the cousin. We blame this person. Or your cousin calls you and says, I saw this land. You should come and invest. Your cousin doesn't have any idea about investments, doesn't even know how to calculate numbers when it comes to investment, right? And then we make the decision to...
Sometimes we don't even go, we just send the money.
Say, go buy the land.
Yeah. I say, hell, have you gotten the paperwork for the land? They say, yes, I've gotten all the paperwork. And that your cousin that you're sending it to, or your friend or your brother, your sister, a lot of them are still trying to figure things out. They're trying to feed their family. They're trying to, live a daily life. And you're sending them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're seeing that money in their hands, and they're like, well, I'm about to go buy this land. And that land is just going to sit there.
Exactly.
What if I can use this money right now and probably go buy another land somewhere else? So this destroys a lot of family back home.
Oh, it has. It has caused a lot of family problems. I know people that were sending money back home thinking that somebody's building them a house, only to go and see there's nothing there.
And I'm sure people that are watching right now, a lot of you are having the same experiences where you trust a family member, a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, where you give them resources to go actually help you find land, help you secure the land, and then you find out that they did not really do it. That is one big problem. And a lot of times people do these investments, they don't understand the emotional and the relationship damage this causes, and it causes a significant strain to the family where it can be avoided. It can completely be avoided, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people here or in the diaspora, I think is a lot of people in the diaspora, if you're ready to actually invest back home, if you cannot find somebody that you can trust, that have a fiduciary responsibility to help you do it, I think it only makes sense for you to find the time to go over there, go buy the land and do all the stuff yourself and secure it yourself. And possibly build it yourself and all of that good stuff. But if a lot of us back here, or a lot of us that have jobs back in the diaspora, we only have 2 weeks a year for vacation. So when are we going to have the time to go back there and go build and do all of this stuff?
You know, that's truly, truly powerful. And I think part of the problem, which is what we have solved here at Excite Capital, and we're doing the same thing with Excite Africa, is that for us Africans, we have been taught to be community oriented in everything else but wealth building.
That is a big point too.
Yeah. We've been taught to be community oriented in everything else.
If you tell them want to have a party, everybody's coming, family members is coming, they're bringing gifts, all of that good stuff.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Yep.
And that's true, because the village truly raises a child. But when it comes to building wealth, we go at it on an individual basis.
And that's something that has to do with just the African community, because I know the Indian community, the Jewish community, they all come together to build wealth together. I'm not sure, like if you look at all the properties that we've seen here, the Jewish guys, these guys that buy all of these properties together. Do you think there's a reason why a lot of Africans don't want to come together to like work together?
To be honest, I just think it's our education about money. Right? There's like a misconception of our understanding of money. Like we develop all these fears, all these mysteries around money, which makes it such that when we have it or we're trying to get it, we keep it like a hush-hush. You want to do it myself. Yeah. You're worried that the next person is going to take it away from you. But missing the point to understand that money, wealth is just a creation of value. And true value really gets created in a community, right? For example, we're talking about the investment situations. Right? Imagine you go back home and you have somebody that is already building these buildings, that lives there back home, but don't have the resources, don't necessarily have the access to capital. And you could provide that access to capital as an investment to this person that already does it. Right? And you earn and you make money from it.
You have a piece of it. You own a piece of it. And you get, once you help them finish it, you own a piece of it, and then you can get some return on it. And also, you can actually use it too when you visit.
Exactly, right? That person has a vested interest. Instead of going and taking a Sharky loan from the bank or from somebody that might destroy it, they work with you in the diaspora, you guys have the income, and that person builds. And you guys all benefit from it. Right? But it's like almost impossible for us to work in that perspective. And that's one of the struggles that we had that's one of the mindsets that we had to fight ourselves and teach others when we were building Excite Capital.